Let's go. Good evening, everybody. I'll give everybody a chance to fill in chat. I'm super excited. I'm Jack to be at Wild West Hackin' Fest. And so I'm super stoked. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Slay Security Plus. We are live here at the Deadwood Mountain Grand, aka Wild West Hackin' Fest. I hope everybody's doing well out there. We're going to answer some Security Plus questions, but before we do, I want to introduce you to a very special guest. You probably know her in the Slay Security Plus community. Maybe you know her on LinkedIn as Brittany White. I'm proud to produce B-Dubs.
Hello.
In the flesh. See, that's the beautiful thing about Wild West Hackin' Fest is you get to hang out with just people in the community in real life, away from keyboard, and it can be a life-changing event. I know I had a blast the very first time. And so, we're going to have some drive-bys. Over here to my right, I got Jay Gold, Dr. Jerry Ozier. They're going to pop in chat here in just a second. But how's everybody doing out there? There's a super bad echo, huh? Okay. Good to know. Let me fix that. Check one. Yeah, I'm in a big echoey building, which is probably part of it. Let me know if this is any better. I just finished listening to Jax Scott. She did a phenomenal talk, really about how to speak at the CISO level, to the board of directors, right? Nobody wants to hear you coming in speaking 110, 1111. It won't compute. It's going to fall flat. So I finished that awesome talk with Jax Scott. It was a phenomenal way to connect with her in the community. Hey, Rhonda Rummerfield, welcome to the party, pal. Well, without further ado, Jax, you want to jump on the screen here in a minute? Do you want to jump on screen here in a minute? Okay. Jax Scott, everybody.
Hi. How's everyone?
Yeah.
Woo woo. We miss you all. Wish you guys could all be here. Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. Okay. Jax Scott, everybody. We're going to have more drive-bys like that throughout the night. So let's get rocking. Let's answer some questions.
It's for the community, and really everybody's here to
Bring chat back up. Watching on generator power, FedEx. How are you and the family doing? Are you guys doing okay? I'll let Jax know that because her talk was fire. And actually, before we get into the questions, let's just hang out for a bit. That's what this is all about. You cool with that, B-Dubs? Hanging out for a bit? We're just going to hang out for a bit. Chat's filling up. Blitz, a.k.a. John Vitucci. It's hanging. You're going to go into some questions. I'll take this moment to pay the bills. I would like to let everybody know that Slay Security Plus is proudly sponsored by Simply Cyber. And so if you're looking to level up your cyber career, if you're looking to break in, build community, make sure you check the fine folks at simplycyber.io. Let's pay some bills and get back to the stream.
Are you feeling lost in the vast world of cybersecurity, overwhelmed by technical jargon and confusing career paths? You're not alone. That's why I built Simply Cyber. Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Ozier. Come join Simply Cyber, your supportive and inclusive community for navigating the exciting world of cyber. There's so much to take advantage of. Master the skills you need with Simply Cyber Academy, offering in-depth courses aligned with the GRC analyst role. Never feel isolated. Connect with fellow cyber enthusiasts and professionals in our thriving Discord server. Ask questions, get feedback, share your journey. Check out the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, delivering insightful interviews. What are your thoughts around, web app pen testing as entry level? And I included Bug Bounty here because that's very accessible to everybody. Practical skill demos and daily cyber threat briefs, all hosted by industry experts. There's so much more to discover. Are you ready to join the community and empower your future? Visit simplycyber.io/socials for all the links and start your cyber adventure today.
That looks legit. Have you guys seen that?
What I think is the most surreal thing is to have that commercial, that promo video play, and have Jerry's voice in my headphones, and then look to my right, and Mr. Ozier, Dr. Jerry Ozier, is sitting right across the table. He's going to jump on stream in here in just a moment. But while we're here, let's go ahead and get started on some questions. B-Dubs, you want to answer a couple questions? Oh, never mind. FedEx says, we are okay, no major damage. We lost, I'll just put it on chat.
So, try to incorporate a question into the response. It's like being a speaker.
Man, we wish you were here. We do.
Being a speaker at Wild West Hacking Fest is really rewarding, even more rewarding.
This is a phenomenal experience. I know that the folks at Black Hills Information Security are planning on doing a Wild West Hackin' Fest in Denver, Colorado, coming up in February. So make sure you go to Black Hills Information Security and look more at that in case the Deadwood, South Dakota isn't your vibe or you can't make it out. There's now going to be two options. So you can come down to Denver, Colorado, my home state, which I, of course, will be there. And you can party there with everybody. It's a blast. Tim Medine just finished speaking on offensive for defensive, fixing your SMB shares and Active Directory, which is super, super important in an enterprise environment. This looks like a proof of life video. Jay Gold. It's funny because he's actually standing right across from me. Are you ready to answer questions?
I'm good now.
All right, let's go. Let's answer some questions, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. The first question, which of the following methods is a replacement for Wi-Fi protected setup or WPS as a more secure means of configuring client devices with the necessary information to access a Wi-Fi network? A, device provisioning protocol or DPP. B, Wi-Fi protected access 3 or WPA3. C, enhanced open. Or D, simultaneous authentication of equals or SAE. Drop those answers in chat. Hello, first time joining from New Zealand.
Wow.
Let's go. Welcome to the party. You're abroad. You're joining me here in Deadwood, South Dakota. New Zealand. That makes me ridiculously excited. All right, I'm seeing a lot of the class say B. We'll lock it in with our guest host. So I have the hot seat right next to me. Right now, B-Dubs is in the hot seat. So after the class puts in their answer, we're going to go to our hot seat. They're going to be the final say on what they think the answer is, and we're going to go from there. Yeah, B-Sec, we are putting answers in chat, brother.
I think that's gonna be great. You're gonna be slicing these, right? It's not gonna be like, it's not just like, it's like. Thanks for having me as part of the documentary.
All right, B-Dubs, I'm going to turn it to you in the hot seat. What do you think is the final answer?
Oh, there's so much pressure. I really think it's enhanced open. That sounds the most secure to me.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right.
Enhanced open.
Okay.
That sounds so secure, right?
Rest of the class is locking in B, all right, for the record. And we have our hot seat contestant here, and they're locking in answer C as their final answer. Let's send it and see what happens.
How did I get that wrong?
Because
I studied so hard for this.
Because you put in the wrong answer. The correct answer, Wi-Fi Easy Connect, also known as Device Provisioning Protocol, replaces Wi-Fi protected setup. It uses quick response or QR codes, near-field communication to communicate public keys between devices. The correct answer is A, Device Provisioning Protocol.
Wow.
All right, moving on.
I saw someone who chose A.
You did?
Yeah. They said they were going to choose A. Down. It's very recent.
Oh. Rhonda Rummerfield was going to choose A. Let me know if I'm peeking in the audio. I think I see my lovely wife, Katie, in chat, which is the first time. Good to see you, babe. Thanks for joining and giving the support. Woo-woo. All right. Do you want to answer another one on the hot seat, B-dubs?
Yes.
Let's
I'll take
go.
it more seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Moving on, next question. This is a little bit of a long one, so bear with me. An organization decides to revamp its cloud infrastructure. The IT manager instructs the team to initiate the process by ensuring the starting configurations for all systems adhere to specific security settings. This effort aims to create a foundation that facilities the consistent application of security techniques across all systems. When the IT team works on the organization's cloud infrastructure to establish a best foundation for consistency security techniques, which approach best reflects using secure baselines? A, implementing encryption for data at rest. B, establishing standardized configurations for all devices and software. C, enforcing password complexity requirements. Or D, setting up a virtual private network for remote access. And I will scroll up so that question is there. An organization decides to revamp its cloud infrastructure. The IT manager instructs the team to initiate the process by ensuring the starting configurations for all systems adhere to the specific security settings. The effort aims to create a foundation that facilitates the consistent application of security techniques across all systems. When the IT team works on the organization's cloud infrastructure to establish a foundation for consistent security techniques, which approach best reflects securing using secure baselines? Our options are A, implementing encryption for data at rest. B, establishing standardized configurations for devices and software. C, enforcing password complexity requirements. Or D, setting up a VPN or virtual private network for remote access. Larry Shervington Jr., welcome to the party, pal. Oh, snap, we live on a Thursday and from Wild West Hackin' Fest. There is no better place to be right now. Hey, Christopher Cahill, good to see you. K Hall, I've been slaughtering names today. Ronya Roland, good to see you. Welcome to the party. It's good to see you in chat. I see the chat filling up. B again. B being establishing standardized configurations for devices and software. Let's talk a little bit while we can about some of the answers that may be incorrect. Okay. And one thing you want to take notice of in this question is CompT is doing the classic best. To see here, I have best highlighted. That typically indicates in a CompT style question that it is a weighted question, that there is a better and a best answer, meaning that if you don't get the best answer and you select the better one, you actually might get partial. You get partial credit on these questions where you see words like best or most. That's a good indicator that it is a weighted question and you can get partial credit. And so when you see that, and really when you approach all of these questions, you want to read it thoroughly all the way through. And then you're usually going to see two answers, sometimes three, but usually two answers that stand out to you as just incorrect. And so you want to use this deductive reasoning process of deduction and take off that question. So the question is asking us to revamp its cloud infrastructure, right? They instructs the team to initiate a process by ensuring starting configurations. This is our mission. Starting configurations for all systems adhere to a specific security settings. Answer A, implementing encryption for data at rest, is speaking to only one thing, right? We're only encrypting that data that's either saved on a hard drive, a flash drive. Maybe you're encrypting papers that are stored in an actual file closet somewhere. And so that's only going to be affecting one component of the question. So we'll go ahead and say that is not an option. And then look at D. D is setting up a virtual private network for remote access. Again, not really speaking to what the question is asking, almost like a red herring. So we can take those two off, leaving us with the options of B, establishing standardized configurations for device and software, or C, enforcing password complexity requirements. What's up? Kind of Bananas. Good to have you in chat. So I see B across the board. When they ask and select all that apply, that gets me pick 2, pick 3. Yep, they do get you sometimes on those. But also remember, Malware Combat, that on those questions where they're asking you to pick 2, pick 3, if you pick, let's say you pick 3 and only 2 of those are correct, you'll get partial credit for those ones that you picked that were correct. CompTIA actually does not take away any points. You only get points, which is kind of confidence boosting. We're going to turn it to our hot seat. B-dubs, what do you think is the final answer on this one?
Oh no, it's the pressure. So what I see, can we go up a little bit? That last sentence of the question. So what I see is best, and then using secure baselines. And what sticks out to me is B, because you're establishing standardized configurations, and that would be secure baselines in my mind.
I tend to agree with you on this one, B-dubs. When I see something like standardized configurations or standardized in general, my mind automatically goes to a baseline of some kind. I'm going to go, let's lock that one in there. B, I'm working with one screen, and it's split, so bear with me sometimes as I'm navigating this all over the place. B is our final answer. Let's confirm that's what we actually said and what we meant. That is, let's send it. Ding, 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 ding. B is the correct answer. Secure baselines incorporate detailed, documented, and standardized configurations that professionals utilize in an initial guide when setting up systems, guaranteeing uniform security protocols across platforms. B-dubs, thank you for sitting in the hot seat.
It's pretty hot over here.
It is.
Yeah, the seat, it's on fire.
Well, you did great, even amongst the heat of the pressure.
There was a lot of pressure and not much sleep.
Do you want to thank your quarterback?
Who's the quarterback?
Rania Rowland is the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, right there.
B-dubs, thank you for being on chat.
Absolutely.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We're going to open up the hot seat. Who's next in the hot seat? Rania. Over to my left, we have what's called the hot seat. And in this seat are various speakers and teachers within the cybersecurity community, as well as community members that have either been introduced to Slate Security Plus through Simply Cyber or just from organically through the Slate Security Plus. I'd like to take a second to introduce you all. Let me get off this screen to a longtime member and a really cool supporter of the community, Rania Rowland. Let's get this party started. Say hi.
Hi, fam.
Rania Rowland, you may know her as Kenyon Locke. Is that right?
Kian Lock.
Kian Locke. See, I'm striking.
You're butchering all my names.
We got Rania Rowland coming in hot. They did a road trip from a completely different part of the country. How many miles did you put in?
Only a few. We came into Rapid City.
Oh, nice. They came into Rapid City
But
on
from
what they
Texas.
call an airplane, right? So I thought you guys road tripped it out here. No?
We rode from Rapid City.
Like it. At least you didn't hit a deer.
No, we did not.
All right, let's get back to the questions before I mess up any more names. I kid.
It's okay.
Did we do this one? Oh. A security administrator plans to enhance the security posture of an organization's computing infrastructure. The administrator starts by documenting the current state of all system configurations and intends to establish a foundation to enforce security standards. Given the scenario, which security technique is the security administrator preparing to implement that ensures consistent application security configurations across all systems in the organization? Our options: A, secure baselines. B, patch management. D, multi-factor authentication or MFA. Or D, intrusion detection system. I see some people waving at Rania Rowland. I see Space Tacos in chat. Say hi to Space Tacos.
Hey, Space Tacos.
What do we think? Drop your answer in chat. The question is asking us, the administrator starts by documenting a current state of all system configurations and intends to establish a foundation. This could be a key word here, right? Given the scenario, which security technique is the security administrator preparing to implement that ensures consistent application security configurations across all systems in the organizations? A, secure baselines, B, patch management, C, multi-factor authentication, or D, intrusion detection system. And I'm really excited. As you know, I talk about food quite a bit here on this podcast, webinar session, study session. And we're doing a steak dinner. Wild West Hackin' Fest provides a chuck wagon steak dinner for everybody, and it's awesome. And I'm starving.
So over in study GRC and PBO, they know me as R squared. So you might see R squared in the chat.
Gotcha. Well, people are saying R squared. That's where the R squared. Yo, R squared. Larry Shervington Jr.
Hey, Larry.
FedEx says C. Chillin' Spree says A. Katie Stovey says C. I see a lot of other people saying A. There's a key word here that I really want you to focus on, to focus on here, and that is this, to establish a foundation, right? There's one of the answers in here that really relates to establishing a foundation. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Rania Rowland here in the hot seat. What is your locked-in final answer?
All right. This kind of sounds like our last question. It's talking about foundations, configurations. My first answer is going to be secure baselines because that's your foundation of your security posture.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's lock it in. That's what they said on the hot seat is A. Let's send it and see what happens. Let's get ready to rumble. Ding, 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 ding. Correct. Security professionals document the standardized secure baselines for specific types of devices or software. These baselines act as a starting point for system configurations and guarantee consistent application of security settings across the organization's systems. Now, to go to the answers that are incorrect, and that's one thing I always encourage, is put your answer in there, and it's 100% okay to be wrong. When you take these tests in real life, you're going to miss some. Last year, we did this from Wild West Hackin' Fest. Dr. Jerry Ozier himself came up and got a question wrong. Zach Hill from Black Hills Information Security came up and got a question wrong. You learn by getting questions wrong. So if you get it wrong, don't beat yourself up. Just understand why you got that question wrong. It's good to know that you got it right and why you got it right. But even more importantly is understanding why the answer is incorrect, right? So going on to some of these, why they're incorrect. Well, patch management involves mainly maintaining, updating, and applying software patches to address security vulnerabilities. However, it does not centralize its focus on standardizing initial configurations. Remember that question asked us about an initial configuration. Multi-factor authentication enforces a stronger access controls by demanding multiple authentication methods. Though it bolsters security, it does not set standard configurations for a system. Again, going back to that standardized, where we're starting from, initial configurations. Some keywords that you can maybe jot down to kind of associate with secure baselines. An IDS, or intrusion detection system, actively scans and assesses network traffic, identifying potential threats and intrusions. While bolstering an organization's security measures, it does not establish a uniform system configurations. Oh boy, this is a healthcare question. I'm not going to answer this. A healthcare organization has tasked a new security lead to improve its data protection strategy. The organization is heavily dependent on medical devices, electronic health records, and communication systems that are all interconnected. How can the security lead reason with the executive leadership team to implement secure baselines for network devices, software, and other components to the executive leadership team? A, it enhances IT security and operational efficiencies. B, it reduces the need for logging and monitoring. It simplifies the process of patching and updates, or process, as they say in Canada. Or D, it promotes the use of default configurations. You must be the Texas penguin that they're referring to,
Yes, I am.
because of Alaska and now Texas.
I used to have a penguin next to my name. It said AK Penguin, Alaska Penguin.
Oh,
And then
that's right.
I feel like Hamburglar
Uh-huh.
changed it, and I can't change it back. But now I have cows because they're black and white like a penguin. So I'm the Texas Penguin.
I love that. Taylor, I doubt you're listening. We haven't seen you in chat for a while. I know you're busy living the life, working in cybersecurity, but we hope you're doing well out there. A with a question mark. So the question is asking us, right? The healthcare organization has tasked a new security lead to improve its data protection strategy. It's kind of just leading us into the question. The organization, so we'll say a hospital, is heavily dependent on medical devices, electronic health records, and communication systems that are all connected together on the net of some kind. How can the security lead reason with the executive leadership team to implement secure baselines for network devices, software, and other components to the executive leadership team? So what can we tell them? What is the why? A, it enhances IT security and operational efficiencies. B, it reduces the need for logging and monitoring. C, it simplifies the process of patching and updates. Or D, it promotes the use of default configurations. I like this. A hesitant A.
I like it.
Well, let's go with, again, look at some of the questions on why they're wrong. It reduces the need for logging and monitoring. That's not at all what the question is asking us, right? The question is asking us specifically, how can we go to the executive team and tell them, hey, this is why we need to have secure baselines for our network software, right? You should have logging and monitoring, and that baseline should be part of that logging and monitoring, right? Should be somewhere in your system configurations that when we start up in our initial configurations across the board, we do logging and monitoring. So I don't believe that that is the correct answer. So I'm going to X that one out.
It's going to be no.
A Cat says, wouldn't it depend on the reasonability of the leadership? That is a great thing to say. You must be working professional services, because we use the word reasonable all the time. For the short time that I was in law enforcement, that word is the litmus test. It's reasonable. What would a reasonable person do? I'm literally, DJ BSEC is right across from us, or he was. I don't know what he put in chat. What do we think the answer is correct, folks? A, it enhances IT security and operational efficiencies. B, it reduces the need for logging and monitoring. C, it simplifies the process of patching and updates. Or D, it promotes the use of default configurations. This is kind of tough. Do you have a final answer? Do you want to lock it in?
So I'm torn. I can see it from two different perspectives. You have, it enhances IT security and operational efficiencies, which is very important to executive leadership, because that's bottom line budget. That's your money. However, if you look at it, maybe they're not technical leadership. Do they care about efficiencies in IT security? I could see simplifies the process of patching and updates, because what causes most of the IT cybersecurity problems is not having something patched or updated. Yeah. So I can kind of see how, as a non-technical executive leadership, maybe you can reason with it simplifies patching and updates, because it is a very non-technical answer. But in this case, I would have to go with, I would still stick with A,
Okay,
with a hesitant C,
Okay.
Just because I don't know what type of leadership you're talking to.
Okay.
And I think this is my brain digging too deep into a question.
And then I saw D here. It promotes the use of default configurations.
That
But
doesn't seem like a very good answer for like.
Right, and most of the time, a lot of times, default configurations have the vulnerabilities in their default passwords.
Yes.
So a lot of times, you want to go in and implement secure baselines, right? They're not asking us to implement insecure baselines or default baselines.
We're trying to reason with leadership.
We're trying to reason with leadership, enhances IT security, which is what we're there. That's what our job is. And then operational efficiencies. Executives love that bottom line and like to see we're working. I see consistency and efficiency. I see the letter A.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in A.
I'm gonna lock in A.
Okay.
But just know I was torn between A and C.
Okay. Laura Flores coming in hot says D is not a good idea. I tend to agree. Let's lock it in and let's send it. Let's get ready to rumble. Boom. Ding, 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 ding. Correct answer is A. Secure baselines improve IT security and operational efficiencies by providing standard configurations and rules for securing the environment. Let's go look at why D is a bad answer. Attackers will often target default configurations due to their known vulnerabilities. Secure baselines advocate for hardening these settings to reduce the risk of successful cyber attacks. Let's go. I got a very...
No,
I'm just jamming on.
You want to jump in the hot seat?
I just want to say hi for a minute.
Wait, we got a very, very special guest,
Yeah,
a mentor and friend.
Yeah, put it on the Discord. I'm live.
One of the people that inspired Slay Security Plus, and it just is just been such a mentor to me and the rest of the community. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in hot, Dr. Jerry Ozier.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, you're good.
What's up, Slay Security Plus community? Hope you're crushing it out here.
How are you? Are you having fun out here?
Dude, I love it. This conference is the absolute nails. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Crypto, I love it. Dr. Jerry Ozier gave a really good keynote talk this morning to kick things off. We're just seeing this evolution of education, resourcefulness. Going back to the way the internet was, it was a deep, dark place. Do you want to give like a 10,000-foot view of your keynote this morning? And if somebody popped in for 30 seconds, what would you want them to take away?
Yeah, I mean, the main focus of the keynote was basically pointing out and supporting it with fact that we live in the golden age of cybersecurity. Slay Security Plus, where you are right now, is a free access resource to help you level up and pass the cert. Like right there alone. In the 90s, good luck. Good luck getting that, right? So it's so impactful now. And what I wanted to inspire people is to realize how good we have it, but we've got to keep the momentum going. Just like working in cybersecurity, you can't just chill out. You got to keep pushing. And I offered a ton of different ways so people could find what resonates with them and do their part to keep it going for the next generation.
Yeah, that's just it. And then we take it to the next level, right? We're just talking about Security Plus, Slay Security Plus, right? That's just the beginning. Look at companies like Black Hills Information Security, Simply Cyber, TCM, Let's Go. These companies are providing reasonably, if not free, top-tier training methods to help you not only get into cybersecurity, but if you're a seasoned professional, you can still take away so much of this to your organization. And that's just not how it was. That's not how it was back in the day. And so, yeah, all that to sum up, we're in the golden age. Dr. Jerry Ozier, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go out there and crush it, y'all.
Let's go. Christopher Young, hashtag gasp. It's Dr. Ozier in the flesh. What you see on screen every morning on the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, that's the same guy in real life. Slightly unfiltered, so you get a few more sorry Kennedys. But you know what? It's an awesome environment. If you can come out to the Wild West Hackin' Fest in Deadwood, South Dakota, I highly encourage that you do that. All right, it's worth it. 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Rania, do you want to do one more?
I'm down.
All right. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
When I say my last name, I do the same thing.
Do you really?
Yeah.
With the Limp Biscuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. This one is rated as difficult. Let's see how it comes off the tongue. A security administrator reviews the network configurations of a recently deployed server. The administrator notices that certain unnecessary services have access to the server, potentially creating vulnerabilities. The administrator decides to refine the access control list, or ACL, to enhance the server's security. Which action will the security administrator most likely, see there's that keyword most, likely take when refining the ACL to ensure that only necessary services communicate with the server, thereby reducing potential attack vectors? A, permit all incoming traffic to maintain functionality. At a surface level, that sounds dangerous. B, deny all traffic and allow exceptions based on requirement. C, permit traffic only from trusted MAC addresses. Or D, implement a stateful firewall for the server. Break some of these down, especially if you're just getting into cybersecurity or you're just kind of preparing for your Security Plus. Remember a MAC address, or media access control, right? That address is assigned to, it's a hard-coded number that is assigned to basically every computer, wireless interface, wireless card, and that is your computer's address, right? And if I remember correctly, the first few digits of a MAC address tell it the company or the manufacturer, and the last digits are that company's or that device's identification, like its serial number, right? Or like what identifies it, right? So
what makes it unique?
What makes it unique? Thank you. So in some organizations and in some technology stacks, you can configure a firewall, let's say, to permit traffic that only comes from a trusted MAC address. Let's reread the question, and then I'm going to go back and go a little bit deeper on somebody said, do I mean mandatory access controls? And I want just to clarify the two, because we see that MAC address or that MAC exist in both realms, and they have two different meanings. I'll make sure I was correct. Okay. So while you're answering the question, the difference between MAC as in media access control and MAC mandatory access control, and you're going to want to look at these questions really in context when you're looking at the two different MACs. Return of the MAC, it is return of the MAC. Sorry. Oh my God. I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I just did that. But when we think of mandatory access controls, this more has to do with, you think of like a Windows environment, right? Where we are not necessarily assigning permissions to a person. We're assigning permissions to an object, a file, okay? And so let's say that file says that it's top secret. I'm just using just blanket terms here, so work with me. The file is top secret. And you as the employee have a security level that's been assigned to you of only secret. Well, you need to have top secret. Your control doesn't change. It's a mandatory access control that doesn't change, right? Media access controls, or a MAC address, that is that unique identifier that's assigned to different various devices. And really, we're looking at media access controls as that unique identifier and not so much as a control type, right? MAC address is a unique identifier that it defines, the device.
And it doesn't change.
And it does not change.
You get an IP address, and that can change, but your MAC address identifies whatever device with a non-changeable.
Right. The MAC address, the physical burdened MAC address doesn't change. Now, you can go in some cases and change
virtual switches.
Like you can change MAC addresses, and you can change maybe what MAC address you're seeing in an interface, but the actual MAC address in and of itself does not change. And whereas MAC as in mandatory access control, right? This is a security control type. We have mandatory access control. You have role-based access control. So the key thing is look at the answers, right? And then look at the context in question. We don't see the question asking us anything about role-based access control or mandatory access controls. We see this really having to do with potentially access control lists, right? And so that could be an answer. You can roll Mac on your phone. As in you can change it? Is that what you're saying, BSEC? Where are you? Come join the hot seat. You're very welcome. I want to try. You want to try that name?
Towalase is my best guess.
That's what I was going to say too. Reread the question. The administrator decides to refine the access control list to enhance the server security. Which action? Okay. The administrator notices that certain unnecessary services have access to the server, potentially creating vulnerabilities. All right, so the server has an access control list. We need to configure this access control list to permit all traffic to maintain functionality. I don't like that answer because we're trying to restrict access. The question already says that too many unnecessary devices can see services, which is probably key, can see the server, right? And so we don't probably want to, Tolu for short, that's to help us. Thank you, Tolu. So we're going to take off A, right? We don't want to permit all traffic to maintain functionality. And DJ BSEC does make a great point. You can set up devices to have virtual Macs. Return of the Mac for privacy. Yep. Which action will the security administrator most likely take when refining the ACL to ensure that only necessary services communicate with the server, thereby reducing potential attack vectors? Agent 57, I smoked 2 joints before A+ and Net Plus exams. I don't know if you're a Sublime fan, but I smoked 2 joints before A+, before Net Plus exams. Permit traffic only coming from trusted MAC addresses. Implement a stateful firewall for the server. Stateful meaning it does traffic inspection, right? Yeah. Stateless doesn't. Stateful does traffic inspection. So we know it's not A. This is a tough question. Oh, it is. Okay. Difficult. I'm like, this is a little tougher. No. Deny all traffic and allow exceptions based on the requirement.
So when I did my Microsoft Cloud coursework, this is kind of something that we worked on. And from that point of view, I would go with B, because you're looking at services, not really devices. Devices, I would think of MAC addresses first. But services, you always want to deny all traffic as a baseline. And then when you go back to let something into those servers, you would make an exception per service that needs that access and maybe dependent services.
I think that's fair. I like that answer. Implementing a stateful firewall for the server will be important, but this is talking specifically on configuring the access control list, right? We don't see, anything asking specifically about the firewalls. What firewall does have an access control list in it, right? But that's kind of almost like a redundant answer here.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's either B or C. Deny all traffic and allow exceptions based on requirement, or C, permit traffic only from trusted MAC addresses.
I think the where you can't pick C is going to be you can spoof MAC addresses. So then you're still giving a vulnerability right there.
Yeah, I agree. You can Yep. I'm going to lock it in as well. Is that your final answer, Hot Seat?
B.
B is the final answer. Lock it in and send it. Let's go, everybody. Good job, class. You guys are slaying it. And let's talk about when securing an access control list, best practice is to
deny all traffic.
Deny all traffic by default and permit only necessary specific traffic. This quote unquote deny by default principle ensures that only approved traffic accesses the resource. Cool. Permitting all traffic creates vulnerability since it fails to distinguish between necessary and unnecessary services, which that question already said that there are services, way too many unnecessary services that can see it. So we can scratch that answer off right away. C, filtering based on MAC addresses provides an added security layer, but the attacker can spoof MAC addresses. So sole reliance on this method does not ensure full protection, as outlined by myself and Rania here. And then stateful firewalls effectively monitor active connections and decide on packet allowance. However, the question focuses on refining ACLs for potential services.
So nice. We
That was
killed
good.
all of those.
That was
answers.
awesome. All right, moving on. This is fun. Do you want to stay in the hot seat? Are you good?
I'm good.
Cool. You're rocking. A co-working office wants to upgrade its Wi-Fi encryption to Wi-Fi Protected Access 3 or WPA3. I'm going to pause really quick because as we're reading these questions, I think this is a great place for you to see a lot of the commonly used acronyms that you're going to see on the test, right? We've got to Security Plus objectives and you see 10 pages of acronyms. You're going, how am I going to learn all of these? The truth is you're probably only going to get quizzed on the ones that you see most within the industry and within these practice questions. That's not to say they won't throw some on you, but you're probably going to see these. So the ones that we are seeing repeated in these practice questions, make a note of those because those are going to be probably some key acronyms to remember. All right, moving on. I'll reread the question. A co-working office wants to upgrade its Wi-Fi encryption to Wi-Fi Protected Access 3 or WPA3. Which feature of WPA3 replaces the pre-shared key or PSK exchange protocol in WPA2 to ensure an attacker cannot intercept the Wi-Fi password even when capturing data from a successful login? A, Wi-Fi Easy Connect, DPP. B, Enhanced Open. C, updated cryptographic protocols, or D, simultaneous authentication of equals? What do we think? Drop the answer in chat. Take a moment. Hopefully you can see the question. I know it's a little bit small and I apologize, but hopefully you can see the question. Let me know if you need me to reread it. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. Hey, Christopher Whitlock in person. You want to hang out for a bit and get in the hot seat next?
You want the hot seat?
After, you want to finish this question and then Chris jumps in? Cool.
Yep. Runner up.
Yeah, that's the hot seat. Oh, God. 6 months on this podcast.
Christopher Young saying, I hope you all noted down that golden wisdom Mr. Slasek dropped regarding acronyms. Yep. Thank you, Chris. The Chris's are here. I got Christopher Whitlock right across from me in person and Chris Young in chat. This is great. This is great. What does everybody think? I'm seeing a lot of D. Simultaneous authentication of equals. And I got to be honest, you guys are teaching me. You're taking me to Sec Plus training right now because I'm a little fuzzy on this one. I don't think it's Wi-Fi Easy Connect. I don't think WPA3 even uses Wi-Fi Easy Connect. And a quick disclaimer, I try and get as many of these chats and converse. I've got the question in one tiny box and the chat rolling by. So I'm trying to get to them, but if I miss it, know that we usually try and get them all, and I'm sorry. John Vitucci, weird. There's this guy across from me that looks exactly like you. There's John Vitucci, a.k.a. Blitz. That is weird. Someone looks just like me. Poor sap. Chillin' Spree says D. Simultaneous authentication of equals. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Rania. What do you think? What do you see in this question?
This is probably one of my weak points. I don't do a lot of Wi-Fi. But I'm gonna. We had a question earlier with WPA3 and it talked about DPP, so I can kind of see where that would fall in. But I'm going to go with the masses because SAE is sticking out, and this goes back to the acronyms we were just talking about. Even back to like 501, I have people that took Security Plus back when they had 501 out, and they said the hardest part of this test was acronyms.
Yep. Because you get the practice questions, and we do the PBQs from time to time, but you don't get a lot of work on the acronyms. Create yourself flashcards. I did legitimate paper flashcards. Write the acronym down, and then on the other side, have your family, have your friends, have your dog, whatever, quiz you on them. And then for $20 a month, and this is where I go into my little spiel about being willing to invest in yourself. That yes, get the free resources, do the free stuff first. But at some point, you might have to pause your Peacock subscription and or stop getting that coffee every day so that you can afford something like Pocket Prep, which I found to be a phenomenal quizzing device for on-the-fly practice questions, acronyms, stuff like that. So be willing to invest in yourself at the end of the day is what I'm trying to say. All right, going with the masses. Simultaneous authentication of equals. Final answer.
Right.
It does sound right.
Good.
Sending it.
Yeah.
Let's go, class. Y'all took us to school on that one. SAE is a feature of WPA3 that replaces the pre-shared key exchange protocol in WPA2. SAE requires attackers cannot intercept the Wi-Fi password even if they intercept the login. Why the other ones are incorrect? Well, Wi-Fi Easy Connect allows devices, to connect by scanning a QR code, reducing the need for complicated configurations, but it does not relate to the PSK exchange protocol in the replacement. Agent 57 just said what I like to say and I'm feeling right now, LFG. Y'all absolutely slayed that question. Enhanced Open is a feature of WPA3 that encrypts traffic between devices and the access point, even without a password, to increase privacy and security on open networks. And then updated cryptographic protocols refers to the replacement of AES, counter mode protocol, with AES Galois. That looks like Galois, right?
I would say
Galois. Galois counter mode protocol, GCM in WPA3. It does not specifically address the PSK exchange protocol. Is this a tougher question or is this moderate? What is this? What does this say? That went away. All right, that's all right. Moving on. Rania Roland, do you have anything else for the masses today?
No, I'm excited to be here at Wild West to meet all of our people in person. Next year, more y'all got to come out.
Awesome. Thank you for being on.
Yeah, thanks. Come on, Chris.
Christopher Young just said, thank you to the Texas Penguin for stopping by. And I don't know how you all say her name in chat. I know that on surface value, it looks like it could be Raina or just Raina. So I will clear this up. It's actually Rania. Tanya like Rania. Rania is from Egypt, correct? And so that name is Rania. So if you ever see her in person or you're on a voice chat, use the right name and use the name Rania because she appreciates it. All right. Bring in our next guest question answer. You know him from Study GRC. You know him from the Simply Cyber community. I am proud to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Whitlock.
Woohoo! Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm awesome.
Good, man.
This is a great event, meeting everybody. Yeah, it's exciting.
In a couple of seconds, what have you taken away so far? What is like one thing from one talk that's kind of stood out to you?
The framework from Jax's.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the biggest parts. But it's just like Jerry's keynote. Like that had all kinds of good information that is changing the industry.
Yeah, that framework. So Jack Scott, she just popped in for a second, but she did her talk, like I said, on frameworks, on how you can almost simplify having that conversation at the director level, especially if you're trying to get funding, because we know it can be really hard. Whoa, that was a loud horn. Oh, that might be the dinner pulling in. The Chuck Wagon steak dinner. You want to answer some questions, Chris?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. get us in focus here.
Yeah, welcome to the party, everyone. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, Chris, real quick, just to kind of brag on Christopher Whitlock. Christopher Whitlock connected with Slay Security Plus and was like, yo, how can I help? How can I get involved? Like many of you who have helped just by being in and sharing your time with us. Chris used his own time and his own resources to help stand up the HTTPS slaysec.plus. He helped to really kind of get our graphics up to date. And so, Christopher Whitlock, thank you. I very much appreciate just you being in the community. And then on a personal note, I really appreciate your help with Slay Security Plus.
Yeah, hashtag community.
Yep, that's what it's all about, baby. Let's go. All right. This says this question is expert level. So we'll try and take our time with it.
Let's do it.
A multinational corporation has hired a lead IT consultant to assess the security of its various systems, including Windows and Linux servers, desktops, and mobile devices in various countries. To ensure consistent security across all these systems, which of the following tools would the consultant recommend the organization use to automate the deployment of secure baseline configurations? A, Center for Internet Security Configuration Assessment Tool, or CIS CAT Pro. B, Security Content Automation Protocol, or CCAP. C, Puppet, or D, Security Technical Implementation Guides, or STIGs.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, actually.
Somebody just wanted to tell you, Space Taco said,
Yeah.
Christopher Whitlock is super dope.
Hashtag GRC Mafia. Yeah, so I think this question's kind of interesting. So lead IT consultant to assess the security of various systems. And so we're talking about servers, desktops, and mobile devices. And it's an assessment. And it's looking at automating the deployment of secure baseline configurations. Now, the interesting thing is that it's actually looking at the deployment of such. And so I was looking at the CIS CAT, and so that is an automation tool. For the configuration assessment tool. I was looking into that a little bit, and then we have the STIGs. Now,
it's a hard question.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a difficult question there. So I do see some of it thrown in there. I'm going to go with A personally, just because STIGs are not technically automated from the bat. That gives you a baseline configuration, but STIGs alone are not automation. Whereas the CIS CAT can do automation configurations.
You can?
Yes. So that's why I would go with A. Oh, the tools that the consultant would recommend.
Tolu thinks D. I see a lot of A. Katie says A.
I would take out B and C would be the two that I would withdraw.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would probably pick A in this circumstance. It's definitely A or D.
Multinational corp. Now, I'm going to address this like I'm actually sitting here taking the test, and this is a little bit of a harder question for me, so let me look at this. A multinational corporation has hired a lead IT consultant to assess the security of its various systems, including Windows and Linux servers, desktops, and mobile devices in various countries. To ensure consistent security across all these systems, which of the following tools would the consultant recommend the organization use to automate the deployment of secure baseline configurations? I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you think it's SCAP?
This CCAT?
Yeah.
So,
that too.
So I guess that would be a tool that you could use. Security content automation. I know more about the CIS CAT and the STIGs. But then also it's talking about all the different devices, and I don't know whether or not that would actually work for all the different devices, from mobile, desktop, server, Linux, Windows, because that's a protocol.
This is tough. I'm gonna turn it over to you, hot seat. What is the final answer?
I'm gonna say A.
A. Locking in A.
Let's see.
Let's send it. Okay, Rhonda Rummerfield,
A,
for the
B,
record,
B.
is saying B. Okay, let's send it.
Oh. Which one is it?
It was C.
Oh, it was actually
The
C,
correct
Puppet.
answer is C. Organizations can use security management tools like Puppet to automate the deployment of secure baseline configurations across very diverse systems. Puppet helps enforce consistency and detect deviations from the established baseline. Here's the incorrect answers and why they're incorrect. The Security for Internet Configuration Assessment Tool, or SysCat, assesses system configurations against CIS secure baseline benchmarks, not for automating deployment. SCAP, or CSAP, is a protocol, or SCAP, good night, is a protocol for measuring compliance with secure baselines, not for automating deployment. STIGs are specific secure baselines developed by the Defense Information Systems Agency, or DISA, for the U.S. Department of Defense, or DoD, not tools for automating deployments. Dang, that was a tough
Damn.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I hadn't even heard of Puppet before.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
gonna have to
recall
go
that.
back and because I want to be able to speak to it.
Did
really,
anybody
so
call out C?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we had one.
I think Rhonda Rummerfield said C. She did say C.
Oh,
Well, there you go. Yeah, second guess myself. You can go with your initial answer. So you said C. You locked it in.
bam.
Here in just a moment, we're gonna Chris Whitlock is gonna join us for a few more questions, and then I believe we're gonna have one more hot seat volunteer. I want to confirm and make sure he's in. So maybe no. To my right is Justin Gold in the flesh, though. Can you just pop your head in here and just say hi real quick? Whoa, 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 and just say hi to everybody.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well tonight.
Jay Gold, creator of the Slay Security Plus Discord channel, longtime Simply Cyber moderator, Magic the Gathering player, and on top of all those, became a friend of mine in chat, hanging out. It's good to have you, Justin.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
And
Awesome.
Now he's over with our buddies with Barricade.
Yep. Now he's employed with the Barricade Cyber Solutions. Eric Taylor. I'll tell Justin that a lot of you said hi to him. Rhonda Rummerfield, Rania Rowland. Let's get back into the questions. And I'm going to use this quick moment to pause and say, if you're just joining us, this is the Wild West Hackin' Fest edition of Slay Security Plus. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got another special guest popping in. Haircut Fish.
Hi, everybody.
What? Dan Reardon, a.k.a. Haircut Fish. You probably know him best as the Haircut Fish, a longtime Simply Cyber contributor, and is responsible for all of the most 99.9% of the memes that you see, including what day is the meme of the week? Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
The Thursday meme of the week during the Daily Cyber Threat Brief are brought to you by this man right here, Dan Reardon, Haircut Fish.
Hey again.
It's good to have you, brother.
Good having me. I can't stay long. I'm going to be heading out, running around all over the place.
Are we going to see you for steak dinner?
Oh, yeah, I'll be back here.
All right, cool.
So
We'll sit down.
you guys keep being awesome. See you later.
Likewise, we'll see you in a bit. Woo. All right, real quick, Slay Security Plus. We are Slay Security Plus. This is the Wild West Hackin' Fest edition. If this is your first time here, and all you can just take away was this little bit. We meet every single weekend, Saturdays, typically at 4 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. And our goal is to provide top-tier practice questions for Security Plus for absolute free to help you pass using really good practice questions. We break them down, and we go over what to expect on test day when it comes to what the questions are going to look like, how they're worded, some of the things that CompTIA specifically is going to be looking for on test day, and at the same time, building mentorship, building community, making friendships. Some of the people that I'm meeting here today got introduced to me through Slay Security Plus, and now we're meeting in person, hanging out. And it really is a beautiful organic thing, and I absolutely love it. But that's what we do. We're a community-driven initiative with the focus of helping you pass your Security Plus using top-tier industry resources for absolute free. Any money that Slay Security Plus does get goes back into it. I did some contract work for Dr. Jerry Ozier, and he offered to pay me cash money. I said, no. Let's get. Would you, instead of paying me cash money, would you buy the CompTIA Cert Master Learn for the community? And so that's what we did. Agent 57. On my live Saturday, no, I will be driving back with my Airbnb roommate, taking him to the airport, and then I'll be driving home. It's a 10-hour drive. And so, unfortunately, this weekend, I will not be live. So we're doing it tonight with the Wild West Hackin' Fest Takeover Edition. All right, more questions. A newly hired cybersecurity manager of a software company evaluates the available intrusion detection and intrusion prevention capabilities of the company. What method detects changes in normal baseline operating data sequences and identifies abnormal sequences? A, signature-based detection. B, my bad. Can we, Agent 57, drive safely then, please, my dude. I will. Driving only the safest. Sorry about that. There's the question. Do you need me to read it again? Let me know. I'd be happy to. A newly hired cybersecurity manager of a software company evaluates the available intrusion detection and intrusion prevention capabilities of the company. What method detects changes in normal baseline operating data sequences and identifies abnormal sequences? A, signature-based detection. B, behavioral-based detection. C, network behavior and anomaly detection. Or D, network traffic analysis. While the Security Plus Slayers are putting the answer in the chat, what do you see in this question, Chris?
So it emphasizes on the baseline portion, and especially looking at the CompTIA questions, they always try to trick you as well. And so they kind of split it up a little bit here. So we got two towards the network portion, but it does also discuss the signature and behavioral based detection. But this all points to it's involving intrusion detection, which is both network and so forth. So so network and physical. So intrusion detection, intrusion prevention capability. Yeah. And yeah, I see a lot of the answers in chat there too. And I think C would be correct for this because you're looking at the abnormal detection as well. So you'd always want to look at the network and for any changes.
Yep. And so, and I'll hammer home, there's some key words here that'll help this question kind of pop. Operating sequence and identifies abnormal sequences, right? And the word here that pops out to me is anomaly. So to me, when I think of the word anomaly, I think of something out of the normal. Abnormal, right? We know that the word abnormal is something that's out of the normal. And so with that, we can see like that answer, network behavior and anomaly detection. It's, you know, anomaly is another kind of a dictionary word for something out of the usual or a one-off, an anomaly. I tend to agree. Rhonda Rummerfield says I see baseline deviations.
Yeah, that's a great section to point out too, because you have your baseline and then you want to see what is different, what changes. So that way this is abnormal traffic, this is abnormal activity and so forth. That's a great inclusion.
Do we want to lock in C? A lot of people in class are saying C. Let's lock in C. I agree. Let's send it. Let's get ready to rumble. Oh.
See the CompTIA questions.
Oops, sorry, folks. Whoa. What is going on here? Correct answer is A. Behavioral-based detection is a network monitoring system that detects changes in normal operating data sequences and identifies abnormal sequences. It uses an engine that is trained to recognize baseline normal traffic or events. Okay, the incorrect answer. Signature-based detection is a network monitoring system that uses a predefined set of rules provided by software vendor or security personnel to identify events that are unacceptable. The one that we thought is incorrect. C, network behavior and anomaly detection is a security monitoring tool that monitors network packets for anomalous behavior based on known signatures.
And
That's why.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we look at that one, it's based on already predefined those known signatures, and this is asking specifically about the behavior part. And then that final one, network traffic analysis is not an IPS or IDS systems, but works similarly to an IDS by applying techniques only to network systems rather than multiple network and log data sources. So to reinforce the correct answer, which the correct answer is B, behavioral-based detection. CompTIA wants you to understand that behavioral-based detection is a network monitoring system that detects normal operating data sequences and identifies abnormal sequences. It uses an engine that is trained to recognize baseline or normal traffic events. Okay, that helps. We got to end on a good note. So let me give you just a quick peek. Let's do this. Before we go, we're going to have one more question, and then we got to go because A, it's almost dinner time, and B, the Wild West Hackin' Fest team is about to take over the stage and do some talking. Let me make sure real quick if this person doesn't mind. Michelle Khan, OSINT expert, is right in front of me. He's a wonderful, wonderful human, but I want to make sure he's okay being on camera before I pan this thing around. He gave me the thumbs up. I see Becky. Is that Becky Gaylord sitting across from us? We're just going to pan this up real quick, and hopefully I don't offend too many people that don't want to be on camera, just so that you at home can see what we're seeing, kind of take you with us to Wild West. So get my ugly mug out of here. Pick this bad boy up. So we have everybody at the tables, right? Pretty fun environment. I don't know how much you guys can see. Hey-o! There's our stage right there. Wow, this camera is whack. There's the stage. There it is. There you can see the stage. People are starting to fill up. I see John Strand up there. That's our stage. This is where the keynote and where dinner happens. We're sitting at a long line of vendor booths, as you can see. So there's multiple vendors. That black curtain separates track one. That's where there is a lesson or a conference, a speech. What do you want to call it? A presentation going on. Then there's more vendor booths and games out there. So I know that was kind of choppy. Just want to bring you in a little bit to what we're seeing. All right. Final question.
Let's go for the win. I could take a quick video too afterwards, and I could drop that in the Discord.
You should, so people kind of can see what we're having fun doing here. The last question is an expert level question. Let's go. Which of the following practices is critical for device hardening by providing a standard set of guidelines or checklists for configuring devices securely? A, regular maintenance cycle. B, user awareness training. C, least functionality principle. Or D, monitoring and encryption. Which of the following practices is crucial for device hardening by providing a standard set of guidelines or checklists for configuring devices securely?
So it's crucial for device hardening. It's a set of standards and guidelines or checklists for configuring devices securely. All right, so I'm going to just try to start rolling some of it out. So I don't think it would be user awareness training because it's talking about configuring devices securely. Yeah, exactly, Young. Yeah. Right.
Let's go. Sorry to rudely cut you off like a drunk driver on a Friday night.
Oh, no, it's all good. Yeah, and so like regular maintenance cycle, I mean, that could kind of apply, but it's not really. I don't think that would. Yeah, because we're looking at practices that are crucial for device hardening, and so I'm thinking that that would be C. So least functionality principle. So you want to go off and you want. My understanding is you want to limit what's on the device, the applications and so forth, to limit which is works with device hardening, and it's crucial for that aspect.
Man,
so
that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's kind of my reasoning for that. That's where I'm going. I could definitely take B out. I could see how A might apply with regular maintenance, but that's not really device hardening.
Pardon me, folks. We're sitting at Jerry's Simply Cyber booth, and we scan these badges for everybody. You're good.
Yeah, so I think I would go with C. So it's talking about principles and so forth, so or practices actually. So it could actually be D. So I might actually change up my answer there.
Which of the following practices is critical for device hardening by providing a standard set of guidelines or checklists?
Yeah, I think I'm going to lock in C for least functionality. That's like least privilege. What does everybody else think?
Christopher Young says D.
Yeah, I would go with C or D. The only reason I'm not going with D is strictly just because it's talking about a standard set of guidelines or checklists. That does involve device hardening, though. So, yeah.
Monitoring can be a vuln too, I would think. Monitoring and encryption. Practice a standard set of guidelines. So for me, the standard set of guidelines or checklists for configuring devices securely would be like the least. I'm also leaning towards the least functionality principle.
Let's send it.
You want to send it?
Yeah, let's send it. Oh, Rhonda said C too, so now we got to send it.
Oh, yeah. She's already a pro.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's send it. Final answer C?
Final answer C. Let's go.
All right, let's go. I'm not going to look.
Oh, at least we're ending on a good note here.
Let's go. Sorry, a microphone peaked. LFG. So we are correct, folks. Good job, Kind of Bananas, Rhonda Rummerfield, Chris Whitlock, and myself for getting that one correctly. The least functionality principle is critical for device hardening by providing a standard set of guidelines or checklists for configuring devices securely. It ensures that a system should only run on the protocols and services required by the legitimate users and no more, which reduces the attack surface. Establishing a regular maintenance cycle is important for keeping devices updated with security threats and responses, but is not specifically related to providing guidelines for device hardening, such as that least functionality principle. User awareness training, again, incorrect answers, is essential for user-focused security strategies, but does not directly related to providing guidelines for device hardening. And somebody did mention the monitoring and encryption are essential practices for enhancing device security, but again, they are not specifically related to providing a standard guideline or checklist for device hardening. The least functionality principle, correct answer, is critical for device hardening by providing a standard set of guidelines or checklists, something you're going to note on your objective sheet, so we get this one right. For configuring devices securely, it ensures that a system should only run the protocols and services required by legitimate users and no more, which reduces the attack surface. Let's go. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to this very, very, very special Wild West Hackin' Fest takeover of Slay Security Plus. Hope you have a wonderful night. Hope you're taking care of each other. Take care of your mind. It's the most important thing. be kind to one another, right? You can be anything in this world. Don't be a dick. Just be kind to one another. It's not hard, all right? That's just something that we kind of strive by here in the Simply Cyber community and in like the IT community. Is just be kind, all right? That's all I got. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for spending time with me. From Christopher Whitlock, from Rania Rowland. That's her saying what's up. Jack Scott, Dr. Jerry Ozier, Michelle Kahn, John Vitucci, Evan Kiersey, my roommate. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, stay secure, y'all.
GRC Mafia.
And I gotta figure out how to stop streaming on this little
You
screen.
might have to make it full screen.
Gotta make it full screen.
Top right.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the flip side. Be well, everybody.